minutes late, and I apologize. And this is huge to me. This is having to do with internet leads and inventory management. Okay. And to me, this is an eye opener. And the reason why I say that, I'm going to back up a little bit. I started selling cars in 1997. Matter of fact, I was looking around for something, but 1997, I started selling cars on the internet in 1998. From 97, or essentially 98 to December of 05, basically 2006, I created a living off of selling cars off the internet and running internet departments for large dealer groups, speaking at events, doing articles. And then fast forward through Auto years and now 8 years of Lotpop, we've been helping dealers with inventory or internet process management. And so I bring that up because, again, we're talking over 20 years of internet management. And I've been looking at all the key KPIs or metrics on what the CRM spits out, what we've been managing our internet managers with, and our gauging our lead providers with. A lot of those metrics aren't really relevant. And here's the reason why. There's going to be there's a lot of I'm going to refresh this because I want somebody to comment on this. I'm going to go to my Facebook Live and see if anybody comments on this as I'm speaking, because I'll go over. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and I want to make sure you're understanding where I'm coming from. Once you start combining internet leads and your inventory, it's a whole other picture. And I bring this up because at Lotpop, again, we're not an inventory management tool. Auto, Max Digital, VinQ, Dealers Link, Inventory Plus, all those inventory management tools. We take information from any of those tools. We're not a CRM, VinQ, Drive-Centric, Rentals, Contact Management, eLeads, all those, Dealer Socket. But we take information from those CRMs and from your inventory management, put it together as a lot management tool, managing your lot. No different than you do a physical lot. You make sure your cars are standing tall and they're effective visually. And then you make sure any customers are being meet and greeted, but we're combining it digitally for you. So with that being said, I want to point out a few things to you. Notice these numbers. So on the left, I took a mixture of dealers. I'm going to throw another 3 to 4 into SAP 10. I think there's 8 dealers here right now. 8 dealers on here right now, anywhere from independent dealers, that's the Indy, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep dealers, to Kia dealers, to Chevy dealers, and across the board on inventory size from 50 units to upwards of 160 units almost, okay? Then we looked at their active leads in stock. Now, again, active leads, this happens, all these dealers happen to be on VIN Solutions, so they have active leads and total leads. I have the total numbers, but I'm hiding them right now. So I took 10% of their inventory levels, okay? So a dealer with 80 cars, 10% would be the top 8 cars. So I took the top 8 cars, or the top 10%, and said, then sorted it by lead count, active lead count. Okay. So if I took and sorted all their inventory, okay, by active leads, okay, the first independent dealer here, 49% of his active leads are on only 10% of their inventory, or 8 of their cars. The dealer below, 60%, on down the line. Okay, so the average dealer out of these 8, 45% of their current active leads are on only 10% of their inventory. So one of the key metrics that we track with lead and inventory management, or lead management and CRM management, one of the key metrics that we track is leads to appointment ratio. Let me point this out. With the fact that 45% of their active leads are on only 10% of their cars, that means cars have 9 leads, 10 leads, 5 leads, 8 leads, 3 leads. Those cars can only generate essentially 1 appointment and 1 show sold delivered, right? You might be able to schedule 3 appointments on 1 car, but I guarantee you the first person comes in, if they buy it, the second, third appointment's going to call you, say, hey, we're on our way. We just want to make sure the car's still there. And you say no, then you're in a battle to get that appointment in. So the fact that, or you sell the car, it drops off, the 8 other leads seen that happen. And so they're not returning your phone calls. So essentially, the appointment to lead ratio isn't an effective number anymore when we can tell that almost half your leads are on just 10% of your inventory. Okay. And most of these dealers, the next number I'm going to pull out of here, and I should have done it first, are running anywhere from about 20 to 25% of their inventory without any leads at all. So my point is, if you got 20, 25% without any leads at all, and then you got 45% of your leads on only 10% of your cars, again, once you throw an inventory into these lead metrics, the KPIs that we're used to tracking and measuring our internet department with isn't as relevant as it seems. And I'll take it a step further. Let's talk about closing percentage. If you take a look at the blue, active leads on sold cars. So we took, again, the last 60 days, or actually, matter of fact, no, we just took their inventory and, no, I'm sorry. We took 60 days worth of leads. We took all 60 days worth of leads, looked at active leads, and how many of those are actually on a car that is sold, no longer in stock. You guys are probably running into this a lot right now where, you get 3 or 4 leads on a car, it sells real quick. And then, so now you got an active lead. Again, going back to these 45% of your leads on only 10% of your inventory. So if you got a car with 8 leads, you sell the car, there's 7 leads left that are on a car that's sold. So now you got to switch them. So if you notice here, again, let's talk about the top dealer, 81 cars, 120 active leads over the last 60 days are on cars that sold. That was 43% of their active leads. Some of these dealers, 70% of their active leads were on cars already sold. Okay, so the average is 55% on average, that their active leads are on sold cars. Okay, so let's do the math. That only leaves 45% of your leads to actually sell a car to. Let's dumb it down to easy math. If you had 100 leads, 55 of them are on cars that are already sold. Now, our design, we're going to show you switch cars to help. Again, we're combining the two data. So I'm going to take these leads and show them 3 other cars that I can maybe switch them on. We have that in our tool. But let's just talk about easy math. Those 55% are going to be hard to switch. So that only leaves 45% for you to actually take a car and sell it to them. And let's say you sell 10% as an easy number, kind of the industry average, say closing percentage, 10%. You're only going to sell 4.5 cars. So let's round it up to 5. Well, if you have 100 leads, only 45 of them you can sell a car to. You sell 5 of those because, again, that's industry average. You did okay. You actually closed 10%, but your CRM is going to tell you only close 5%. And guess what's going to happen? We're going to start chopping blocks. We're going to start talking about our internet people not making enough calls and emails. We're going to start canceling lead providers that, we're not getting a good closing percentage, even though that lead provider might get us 10 good leads and those customers do buy something. But the cars they're interested in my lot end up buying only 1 or 2 of them. So my closing percentage looks out of whack with the provider, looks out of whack with my agent. So that metric, again, it's a good metric. I think it's something like market day supply. It's not the end all be all, but we definitely want to keep an eye on it. But it's not my go-to number to figure out, am I effective in my internet department and my inventory management? So what we're trying to do is combine things. Like when I have a dealer that has no leads on a particular car, I have a dealer that has 40-day-old car with no leads at all, but I have 3 switchable lead possibility, meaning it's a 2018 Ford F-150 XLT, 2018 Ford F-150 XLT. It's in my inventory. It's 40 days old. I've had no leads on it, but yet I have 3 active leads on sold similar cars. Maybe they're on an 18 Silverado. Maybe they're on an 18 Limited, or maybe they're on a 2017 XLT, and they might be interested in this 2018 that has similar miles and in a similar price range. So again, what we want to do then, and that's what we're doing with lot management or Lotwalk tool, is we're taking inventory managers, showing them how to actually help manage the leads. Because if I have a car, all I need to know is who can I sell it to. And I want to know what's my active leads I can maybe sell it to, maybe my lost leads because a rep moved a customer to loss too soon because they gave up on them. And then maybe some switchable leads that are on similar vehicles that sold that I might be able to switch them to. No different than when on the showroom floor. Customer shows up on that 2018 Ford F-150 XLT on my lot and says, hey, I want to see it. And you say, oh man, I'm sorry, it's sold. You don't just turn around and walk away. You slow them down, you sit them down, figure out what's their likes and dislikes, and then ask them if they're open to any other vehicles. And then you pull up a similar vehicle. a year or two newer, a year or two older, same price point, and you show them those cars and try to sell them. That's what you need to be doing with these internet leads. But a lot of times we give up on them. Vice versa, as an internet manager, as I'm calling and emailing, I'm basically cherry picking a lot of times. I'm calling and emailing to the people that got back to me. The customer that's on a sold car, I probably give up on them too soon. And I don't give them a call because I'm busy. And then the only ones I'm going to call are the ones that are in stock. I need to take that particular lead on a car that's sold. Maybe there's 3 other cars in inventory that I want to call, email them about and see if I can switch them. So you want to maximize opportunities on both ends. If I can get the internet people putting leads on other cars, they're helping manage the inventory. If I can take an inventory manager and I can show them other leads that car might work for, they're helping working leads. And when you can get the sales tower and sales department and inventory managers working together with the BDC internet department, you can't help but sell more cars. So these metrics, we're just scratching the surface. I'm actually going to be speaking about it the most at the Automotive Analytics and Attribution Summit in November 14th through 16th. I'm speaking the first day of that event, and I'd be excited for you guys to attend that. I'm going to break this all down. I'm also going to be at Driving Sales Executive Summit talking about work the facts, and I'm going to be scratching the surface there along with Digital Dealer. Going to be scratching the surface there. I'm going to have a booth at Digital Dealer. So we're going to go over, your own metrics, your own stuff that's affecting both. And think about that. If only 10% of your cars have leads on them, have the most amount of leads, what about these middle cars? You got 10% with no lead, or with all the leads, most of the leads. You got another 20% with no leads at all, right? So the 70% are just kind of floating in the middle with 1 or 2 leads possibly. But you might have 5 opportunities. If one car only has 1 lead, you might have 4 or 5 other active leads on sold cars that you could switch them to. So technically, instead of just 1 active lead, you might have 5 to 8 total, because you got the one you're working and then 5, 6, 7 switchables, customers on sold cars that they have to buy something else, So I hope this was helpful. Let me go back to here. Hope this was helpful. But again, we're just scratching the surface. All these metrics. I know the key metric that is a driver. I'm going to cover that again at these conferences. So if you're attending, pop into my workshop, meet us at our booth in a Digital Dealer, and we'll kind of go over some of these things. But man, we're just scratching the surface on this information. And again, doing this 20 years, I went, holy cow, does closing percentage really matter after looking at it for 20 something years? This, appointment to lead ratio really matter, after all these years? And wow. So keep an eye on this. We're going to keep pushing information out. Hopefully this was helpful. If you'd like to see what we can do to help you with our Lotwalk tool, go to lotpop.com. Again, see you at these conferences. Check out my show on CBT News every Thursday at 1 p.m. So it already posted on Used Cars Weekly on CBT News. Again, keep you in tune with all these new relevant information to help you be a better manager at your store and a better inventory management, better lead management. Thanks.